news for them.
Right. Do you think that number, that just, that's a big difference. Do you think that number is because more children are autistic, or do you think it's more knowledge? They're diagnosing it differently now?
I think it's both. Honestly,
Okay.
I do think it's both. I think there are certainly probably more children. I think the diagnosis might be wider, right? Maybe some of the children more on the Asperger sides are getting diagnosed where maybe they weren't earlier, but it's still inordinate, even if it was half wrong, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a huge
It's a tremendous
difference.
amount of number.
Huge.
And that's where a lot of the organizations that are focused on what is the cause are so important. So we do know where that is. But I think you need both. You need a parallel, why do you have it, and what do you do now, right?
Yeah.
So we're focused on the what do you do now? And I mean now, today, and tomorrow. I don't mean like this 30 seconds from now.
Okay. And now you have a son.
Yes.
Is Paul, right?
Paul's great, yes.
And he's right on our set today.
Paul,
he's
yep.
camera
3.
Camera 3?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know the numbers over there. Camera 3. He's doing a great job. So, did your son utilize the programs at ASRC, the programs that they offered?
Very much so. Both from my perspective as a mother, to be able to know what he needs, right? We have an extensive library. We also have support groups. But from a mentoring program, one of the great things he's been utilizing of late, he did when we was little, but even more so now, the mentoring program, phenomenal. It was a 6-7 month program where we identified mentors. Paul happens to be a grad student at Yale who would come in, and we did both group events and one-on-one events where they had a typical mentor to go out and do the things that you don't want to do with mom, right? And it's important. So the mentors were all trained by us.
Okay.
And then, the guys went out, developed their own plans. They went to rock concerts. They went to the Big E. And it's that kind of, everything we do is in a natural setting. It does not applied behavior analysis that you might do when a child is. It's not like school. It's,
right.
Every moment can be teachable as appropriate if you know what you're doing. Back to the training, right? Which is why this is not hard if you know what to do.
Okay.
I think the important thing to know about our guys is a lot of them just process information differently than you or I might process. And if you know that and provide the information in the way they process it, then the output is extremely wonderful, right? And I respect how everyone thinks, whether they're autistic or not.
Right. I mean, that's a big part of ASRC, I've heard, and we've said it in the past, is the embracing, and that's kind of how you train, it seems. You're embracing their strengths, and that's just how you have to approach it.
In a natural way, right? In a way that, we do a lot of sensory integration as kids, right? They might go to a sensory integration place, which is great. But as they get older, I think one of the things like Pat has done was integrate that into, well, let's go rock climbing, right? We do weightlifting for our teens. So you take that precipitative, force that they need and put it in a typical,
completely typical environment.
Like
anyone would go.
No brainer, right? Just do it. But you can't do it unless the people that are working with them know what to expect. Right. It's only fair on all points that everyone knows. Right. And it works great.
So did those, would students or mentors, like you were saying, either Yale graduate or something is his mentor, do they come to you, or do you seek out people?
Both. We get both. We work, Lois works with the Yale Fellows. And she actually does a lot of the training for them. So some come to us, some we just know because we're out there. Paul's mentor actually has, his sibling is on the spectrum, so he came to us and he was just interested. So they come in different ways. Right? Some get referred. Pat's always in the community, so they see what we're doing in one program and they'll offer to help in something else. Okay.
Now, you were saying before, Lois, who's the executive director of ASRC, kind of recognized Paul's, autism before he was even diagnosed. He was 2, you said?
Yes. Yep.
So was he one of the first in the program? I mean, because you kind of got it going while he was young, right? How old was he when in 1999 when the program officially kind of... Six-ish? Around there?
Yeah.
Okay. So was he one of the first, would you say, in the program?
Yeah, I mean, ASRC was more of a supportive, group at that point. A lot of support groups. We evolved to creating the recreational programs, but he was one of the first guys in the integrated rec program through Wallingford. the concept again was, well, bring what you're doing at school, take it out to the community, have a place where you have peer mentored integration of recreational planning, but in an organized way that's going to help our guys on the spectrum develop and deal with whatever they want to at the point, right? So we have peer mentors back when these guys were 6 with music and me, and there was one class, right? And I ended up writing the curriculum with a friend of another mom, and we taught the class for the first session because no one really had any idea what to do. And then we taught the rec therapist what we needed, and they took it for their training, right? Thank you. Right? Training. And now there's probably 14 classes being offered, from yoga to. My whole idea is teach the principles, and so others know what to do, whether it's a family member or a professional. Just give them the answers. Right? There's no big secret here.
Right. Okay. So, what would you say is Paul's favorite recreation, social program, or however you want to word it?
He'll probably give me the high sign there, but I would say golf. Right?
Golf.
Yeah. Paul, if you think differently, give me the thumbs up. Paul has, and that's another thing we did with the Mentor and Integrated Rec program was golf. Golf is a great sport. Foursomes, right? It's a great way to work on interpersonal, just what do you do?
It's a social game,
It's a social game, right? It's a great finesse kind of job. So we have probably 8 guys that go out every week and play. I would say golf is one. Swimming.
Yeah, that seems, I've heard a lot of people
skiing,
like swimming. From our group here on the production crew, it seems to be big. So skiing also.
Flag football. So there's a great flag football. That wasn't ours. It was just a regular, the NFL league. And we had a coach that was great. So you just need to
So all these programs, are they mentors take them golfing, or are these, so is it all through ASRC, these kind of things, where swimming and all that, or is it?
There's other places. Our goal is to encourage other places to develop them. The YMCA does some good work. They're in pockets across the state. Does every park and rec have it? No. Is it our goal to? Yeah. Right. So we'll go out and encourage people to start it, help them develop it, write curriculum with them so they know how to do it. I would say, I don't know, penetration maybe 40%, right, is of the either towns or places across the state do it. But there's also private programs. The swimming program that he's in is a private program. They just do it well. One of the things we offer is a resource guidebook. The ASRC puts together, every person should have if you live in Connecticut, needs a resource guidebook. Because there's no reason to go recreate the wheel. We don't endorse them. We let you know where they are. And there's some great horsebacking places. It's one-stop shopping, right? For I need a therapist. I need a horseback riding.
Now, is that like a little pamphlet you guys hand out?
It's a big old book.
It's a big book, so it's not like it's on the website. You have to stop.
You need to call right now. Our goal is to get it online. It's just technology is one of the things that we.
Well, they can always get the information at least to call online.
Absolutely.
And their website's www.ct-asrc.org.
Yes,
correct.
That's right.
And they
can you can call. Can I give the number?
Sure, go ahead.
It's 203-265-7717 is our number, and you can always call. We can mail it. Technology is something that we, back to being the president, hate spending money, right? But we are always looking for that technological upgrade so that we can provide the service online.
Right. Okay. Now, the producers, who have told me about you before today, have said that you're a big advocate for your son, and I think I've learned that that's a big part of being a parent of a child with autism. So, what have you done to advocate? And also in that question, what advice would you give to parents who are advocating for their son or daughter with autism?
I think the best advice I can give is know your child better than anyone else, first and foremost. My son is great. He's great. Yes, I'm biased, but he's great. And I think the most important thing is to learn everything you can about autism, figure out where your child is on the spectrum, figure out, I'm a little bit analytical, so don't take this literally, but, I would map out what the variables were that we were trying to achieve so you can isolate if you're doing a gluten-free diet or not. But I also would recommend people to go through our advocacy training class. The most important thing as a family is to learn how to advocate collaboratively.